find love. I'm truly Eleanor, and I help women create loving and secure relationships based on trust in 6 months or less. I would love to have you subscribe to my channel for more love, dating, and relationship advice based on my 15 years experience coaching women. Now, this is a very general question, but it came from my community. And if you want to join my community and have one of your questions answered personally by a video, just like this one, you can click the link below in the comment section. So I want to approach this in a couple of different ways. The first is internally, we need to kind of make some shifts, because the question was really, how do I meet someone, or the best way to meet someone when I work from home, I don't go out, and I don't really want to approach people randomly, like go up to them in a coffee shop and be like, hey, are you single? Nobody wants to do that. So obviously, some things that you need to ask yourself are, how are you going to start interacting with people? Because if you're not able or willing to have any kind of conversations or leave your house, or even like online networking meetings or anything like that, then you're never going to meet someone. So there's got to be a shift where you're going to be willing to meet halfway and say, I'm going to put myself out there in some way, shape, or form. The 3 ways that relationships usually come into your life are through, telling your friends and family to set you up or having them set you up, through work, and through online dating. Those are the 3 ways. And the 4th way is just random, which, like my community member said, they don't want to obviously start like canvassing the coffee shop for someone who's single. So that's like obviously the least, viable one. And also with, it's in most of the rom-coms where that happens, but in real life, that doesn't really happen. We know this already. So it's about picking one of those avenues, but also changing your attitude and your mindset first. So are you willing and ready to, start interacting and having conversations with people? Are you willing to go to different events and, talk to people and start up conversations? Are you willing to tell your friends that you're single and you're looking for someone and have them keep an eye out for you? Are you willing to get onto the online dating apps and do a profile and tell someone, put on your profile exactly what you're looking for and start having those conversations with people, going on coffee dates, meeting them in person? That's the first thing. Are you willing to have those things? Because if you are not able to take that first step, where you're going to leave your house and you're going to have conversations and you're going to be interacting with people, then you're not going to meet anyone. That's just, like the delivery guy or whatever is going to be the only person who's going to come to your door. So maybe the place to start is, am I willing and am I open to start putting myself out there in small ways? So you can pick any of those 3 ways, like the online dating, the telling your friends and family, or through work, which if, it's not through work, most of the time it's very hard to meet someone through work unless you work for a giant company and you're constantly, at conferences or conventions and there's lots of people around. That's usually not really a viable thing either. So I would say, ask yourself, which one of these seems more appealing? If you don't want to go the direct route, which is online dating, if you don't want to go a direct route, which is, going to your friends and saying, I'm ready for a relationship and I want you to help me out. Can you introduce me to someone who would be interesting for me, who's available? If you don't want to do those very direct things, then you're going to have to start doing some indirect things by just practicing to put yourself out there and talk to people in the world at large, in real life. So going to, parties, going to networking events, going to classes, doing silly things, even if you don't necessarily like them, where there's going to be a mixed crowd of people, where there's going to be an interesting mix of other people there. And that's the action you're going to take. But first, only if you tell yourself, after you've spent a couple of minutes, like maybe 15 or 20 minutes journaling or reflecting on what you want or what you're able and willing to do at this point, and deciding what you're looking for, whether you're looking for just maybe to get to know someone in a really casual way, have it start as a friendship and see where it goes and take it slow, or if you really want that, love of your life, you want to get married, or you want to meet someone who's your forever person, decide where you're at, because you don't necessarily have to go out and immediately, take huge risks, but at least you'll know where you stand. So check the internal mindset piece, check, where am I at in terms of my willingness, my openness, and then look at what choices you can make for the direct route that I talked about, and then figure out exactly where you stand. Then you can be more clear with people when you have a conversation. So even if you're at a garden party and you're just mingling around and you're with friends, and then you decide to go and strike up a conversation with the handsome stranger, or they come to you and you start a, delightful conversation, then you're going to be able to know, at least in an outline kind of a way, just sort of like the basics of what you want. If the conversation turns to a date, or if they ask you for your phone number or something happens out of it where you're going to see them again, then you're going to know what to talk to them about. And if they ask you questions about what you're looking for, you're going to know. So this is, again, an answer to a question from my community member who wanted to know, like, how do you meet someone, or how do you find love if you're just kind of isolated a little bit and you don't have any real opportunities to meet someone? And my short answer to this, after I've gone through those steps, is you'll have to actually put yourself out there, and you'll have to make it happen, in the sense that you don't have to go, strike up scary conversations with strangers, but you're going to have to take some action. And the action is starting with getting aware of yourself and where you stand, and then deciding what you're going to do about it. Because if you want something, you're going to have to go after it in some way. Even if you are more of an introvert, if you're not, like an assertive type of person, you're more a casual person, that's still fine. You can do that in a sort of more subtle way, but you still need to move forward and meet the situation halfway, and at least be open to do things. I would just say be open to be doing things that you wouldn't normally say yes to, and going to places you normally wouldn't go, and interacting with people maybe you normally wouldn't have conversations with. That feels, comfortable in some way, of course, but just putting yourself outside of your comfort zone. And that's going to help you to meet people, to get into the practice of conversation, of sharing more about yourself, being more open. Maybe you've been single for a long time and you're out of practice. That's going to be a way to get you into practice of being yourself, and, showing and shining, and showing yourself and shining your light to the world. And that's going to be more magnetic and attractive to people. So hopefully this has helped. These are just some quick answers to my community member, and hopefully has been helpful to you as well. If you're looking for the best way to find love, this is like the overview. A lot of my videos will go more into depth in certain specific situations, but this is a good general place to start. So thank you for watching, and I'm truly Eleanor. I will see you next time. Bye for now.